Imagine pouring your soul into a performance, only to have life itself call for a curtain close, in real time.
Fatal accident at the Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas, a veteran performer plunging to her death.
These artists lived for the applause, for the thrill of the moment, and in some haunting cases, they died right there, doing what they loved most.
Australian crocodile hunter Steve Irwin has died during a diving expedition near Port Douglas in Australia.
Their final moments weren't scripted. They were real, powerful, and unforgettable. Join us as we remember the awe-inspiring, heartbreaking stories of performers and actors who died live on stage. In the early 1950s, Johnny Ace's voice was pure velvet, soulful, romantic, and destined for greatness. Born in Memphis as John Marshall Alexander Jr., he traded gospel for rhythm and blues and quickly climbed the charts with hits like My Song and the aching ballad Pledging My Love. But on Christmas night, 1954, backstage at Houston's City Auditorium, the 25-year-old made a fatal mistake. Known for playing with his pistol, Ace was joking around between sets when he pointed a .32 caliber revolver at himself. Assuring everyone it wasn't loaded, he pulled the trigger. The gun fired. Ace died instantly. It wasn't Russian roulette, as rumors claimed, just a tragic accident rooted in recklessness. Pledging My Love became a posthumous #1 hit, echoing with sorrow. Johnny Ace had the voice of a legend, but not the time to become one.
I'll never part from you and your loving way.
Leslie Les Harvey, born on September 13, 1945 in Glasgow, Scotland, was a talented guitarist celebrated for his soulful and improvisational style. He was the younger brother of Alex Harvey, who introduced him to vocalist Maggie Bell. Together they co-founded the blues rock band Stone the Crows in late 1969, alongside Colin Allen, James Dewar, and John McGuinness. Managed by Peter Grant, also known for managing Led Zeppelin, the band gained acclaim for their dynamic performances and released 3 albums before tragedy struck. On May 3, 1972, during a soundcheck at Swansea's top-ranked suite in Wales, Harvey was electrocuted when he touched an ungrounded microphone while holding his guitar. Contrary to some accounts, there were no puddles or rain involved as the venue was indoors. Bandmates witnessed the horrifying accident and attempted to intervene but were unable to save him. He was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital at just 27 years old. Harvey's untimely death highlighted the critical need for electrical safety in live music venues. It prompted stricter equipment inspections and safety protocols across the industry, ensuring such tragedies would be less likely to occur in the future.
Fatal accident at the Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas, a veteran performer plunging to her death.
A seasoned aerialist and mother of 2, Sarah was a beloved member of Cirque du Soleil's Ka in Las Vegas, where acrobats soared high above audiences in a breathtaking blend of theater and danger. But on June 29, 2013, during a climactic battle scene, something went horribly wrong. As Sarah ascended, her safety line reportedly detached from its harness system. In an instant, she fell over 90 feet into a pit below the stage, out of sight, but not out of earshot. The audience initially thought it was part of the act, until the screams began.
One witness with whom I just spoke said he saw the woman plummet more than 50 feet.
She was pronounced dead shortly after, the first on-stage fatality in Cirque du Soleil's history. Sarah lived to defy gravity, and it was gravity that took her. Her death led to sweeping safety reforms in live aerial performances. Rest in peace.
One of the wrestlers, Owen Hart, was going to enter the ring coming down from the rafters. Something went wrong, though, and he fell some 50 feet to his death.
What happens when a moment meant to thrill becomes a tragedy broadcast live? Owen Hart was more than wrestling royalty. He was a beloved performer known for technical brilliance, heart, and humility. Born in Calgary in 1965, he climbed the ranks of the WWF, winning titles and fans with his blend of skill and charisma. But on May 23, 1999, at Kansas City's Kemper Arena, a stunt as his alter ego, the Blue Blazer, went fatally wrong. Suspended high above the ring, Owen was to descend heroically. Instead, a quick-release mechanism triggered too soon. He fell 78 feet. Though the cameras cut away, the horror was real. Commentator Jim Ross told viewers the truth. This wasn't scripted. Owen was later pronounced dead. Blunt force trauma. The show controversially continued, but Owen's death changed the industry. His wife, Martha Hart, founded a charity in his name, turning grief into good. Rest in peace, Owen.
G'day, I'm Steve Irwin, and these are highly venomous sea crates.
Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, was a whirlwind of khakis, energy, and boundless love for wildlife. Born in 1962 in Melbourne, Australia, he turned a family zoo into a global stage, captivating millions with his fearless interactions with crocodiles, snakes, and all creatures wild. But on September 4th, 2006, during the filming of Ocean's Deadliest off the Great Barrier Reef, the wild struck back. While snorkeling near a stingray, Irwin swam too close. The animal lashed out, piercing his chest with its barb, directly into his heart. Cameraman Justin Lyons later revealed Steve's haunting last words, "I'm dying." Despite frantic efforts to save him, Irwin was pronounced dead shortly after. The footage was never released. Steve Irwin died doing what he loved, educating, exploring, and protecting wildlife. His legacy lives on through conservation efforts, his family's continued work, and a world that still remembers his wild heart. What happens when a living legend dies doing the very thing that made him immortal? Mitsuharu Misawa was more than a wrestling icon. He was the beating heart of Japanese pro wrestling. Born in 1962, he first gained fame as Tiger Mask 2, but it was after unmasking that he truly changed the game. As a pillar of All Japan Pro Wrestling's golden era, Misawa helped pioneer the intense, story-driven King's Road style, earning global acclaim for his brutal, emotional matches. After a fallout with AJPW leadership in 2000, he founded Pro Wrestling Noah, continuing to push the sport forward, but decades of punishing physicality left his body worn down. On June 13, 2009, during a tag team match in Hiroshima, Misawa took a suplex from Akitoshi Saito and never moved again. He was pronounced dead that night, the result of cervical spinal damage. Misawa lived for wrestling, gave his body to it, and ultimately gave his life. Rest easy. What if your final act brought the house down because no one knew it was real? Tommy Cooper was the towering, fez-wearing king of British comedy, a master of magic gone hilariously wrong. With his bumbling tricks and perfect timing, he left audiences in stitches for nearly 40 years. But on April 15, 1984, laughter turned to shock. While performing Live on Live from Her Majesty's, Cooper suddenly collapsed mid-act. The audience roared, thinking it was part of the show. Behind the curtain, panic erupted. Cameras cut to a commercial break, but it was already too late. Cooper had suffered a fatal heart attack, dying at 63, right there on stage. The line between performance and reality had blurred in the most tragic way. Today, Cooper's legacy lives on in statues, reruns, and the hearts of those he made laugh. A posthumous BAFTA fellowship honors his unmatched impact. He exited with a joke and became immortal in British comedy.
Sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
What if your final note was the one that defined your legacy? Tiny Tim, ukulele in hand, falsetto voice floating through the air, was unlike anyone else in music. Born Herbert Carey in 1932, he rose to fame in the late 60s with a voice from another era. His cover of Tiptoe Through the Tulips made him a household name, his eccentricity endearing him to millions. But on November 30th, 1996, during a benefit concert in Minneapolis, that whimsical tune would become his swan song. As he sang his signature hit, Tiny Tim suddenly faltered. He whispered to his wife that he wasn't feeling well, then collapsed while trying to return to their table. He was pronounced dead later that night, cardiac arrest, compounded by ongoing health problems. Even in declining health, he chose the stage. He lived for the spotlight and died in it. Tiny Tim didn't just perform music, he embodied it. A true original, tiptoeing through time. Red Foxx, born John Elroy Sanford on December 9, 1922 in St. Louis, Missouri, was a trailblazing comedian and actor celebrated for his sharp wit and groundbreaking humor. He rose to fame in the 1970s as Fred Sanford in the hit sitcom Sanford and Son. The show broke racial stereotypes and showcased Foxx's comedic brilliance, including his iconic mock heart attacks where he would clutch his chest and exclaim,
"You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey."
On October 11, 1991, Foxx suffered a fatal heart attack while rehearsing for the CBS sitcom The Royal Family at Paramount Studios. Initially mistaken by cast and crew as a reprise of his comedic gag, it soon became clear this was a real emergency. Despite immediate medical efforts, Foxx was pronounced dead at Queen of Angels Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center at the age of 68. His wife, Ka Ho Cho, was by his side. Foxx's later years were marked by financial struggles due to lavish spending and IRS debts exceeding $3 million. Yet his legacy endures as a pioneer who broke racial barriers in comedy and television. His influence paved the way for generations of performers, cementing his place as an icon in entertainment history.
High-wire artist Karl Wallenda, possibly the world's best-known circus performer, fell to his death today doing an outdoor stunt in Puerto Rico.
Would you dare to step onto a wire hundreds of feet above the ground with no safety net? For Karl Wallenda, founder of the Flying Wallendas, that was life. Known for his death-defying stunts, Karl lived for the wire, and tragically, he died on it. On March 22, 1978, at 73 years old, Karl attempted a high-wire walk between two towers in San Juan, Puerto Rico. With wind gusts swirling and no harness to catch him, he lost his balance. Cameras rolled as the legendary daredevil fell to his death. He chased glory to the very end, and the wire tragically claimed him. Each of these artists gave us their everything, right up until their last breath. There's a haunting beauty in the way they left this world, surrounded by lights, music, and an audience that adored them. But behind the applause lies the echo of loss, and the reminder that even legends aren't immune to fate. Which of these stories touched you the most? Let us know in the comments. Your voice is part of keeping their memory alive. If this moved you, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can continue honoring the souls who shaped the stage. Until next time, remember, some curtains never truly close, as long as we keep their stories alive. See you in the next one, legends.